Hello and welcome. It's so good to see you. Welcome to this episode of Create Your Career Easily. And this episode, if we're meeting for the first time, hi, I'm Amanda. I'm a career coach, so helping you advance in your career, land that promotion, get that upgrade, land a new job, whatever it may be for you when it comes to your career, and all about supporting you, guiding you, sharing tips and wisdoms, as well as learnings to help you, support you, guide you in doing it, I say your way, but in doing it in a way that's easy, that's a almost natural progression. That's not to say that, you won't have learnings along the way and big steep ones as well when it comes to your development, performance, work environment, whatever it may be, but knowing that you can create your career and it can be done an easy way. And so this topic, it might seem like quite polar opposite to the series, which is creating your career easily, and the topic being what to do if you've been made redundant. So if you've been made redundant, if there's been organizational changes made at the company, at the not-for-profit, at the corporation, at the small business, I mostly work with career professionals in non-for-profit sector and corporation as well, predominantly in fundraising, marketing, communications, and career changes. It's the experience that I bring to support you. But if you have been made redundant, so those changes that have been made in the organisation, acknowledging and recognizing that it is beyond you, as in it's a change the organisation is making. They're making it based on their budget, on their forecasting, on different things that are happening behind the scenes. Yes, they will share with you what they can, what they're willing to share, what they're able to share, that sort of thing. So recognizing that if you have been made redundant, it's not always based on your personal performance. It can often be based on organizational change that then flows through the, I say hierarchy, but the organizational structures in terms of teams and positions and resourcing and all of that. So acknowledging that can be hard. I won't say it's an easy thing, but acknowledging that also too that this opportunity has come to a close for a reason. That can be one of the biggest mindset shifts to make. That perhaps your time at that organisation in that particular role, it's come to a close for a reason. And if you've been in my community world for a while, if we've connected, online in different ways, then you'll be aware that I'm very much into you following your, I say, intuition, that things happen for a reason, depending on your beliefs and faith. Maybe you do believe in God, and that there are ends of seasons for a reason. And so whatever your belief system is with regards to that, knowing that the redundancy has happened for a reason, and it gives you the opportunity to explore next steps. That's not to say that you won't have feelings of sadness, emotions around frustration, uh, maybe even distress, or what do I do next? Disappointment, grief, because it's come an end of an era in a workplace and work environment, possibly being disconnected from workmates that you've worked with for years or a period of time and a season. So it's not to dismiss those feelings, those emotions. It's about acknowledging those, giving yourself the space to be able to do so, whether you choose to journal on it, whether you choose to get out in nature. A suggestion that I do have, depending on where you're at in your career and what's made available through the redundancy, is to reach out for career coaching, for counselling, some form of counselling, often in non-for-profit organisations. That's what I'm focusing on, and corporations. There is some form of, with the severance, that there are programs available for you to opt into. So it's your choice to opt in. It's your decision to go, hey, you know what? I am going to ring up and have a conversation with one of the counsellors. It's confidential, it's available, it's potentially free, it's part of the redundancy. There's a set number of sessions, whatever it may be. But to take that step, it's brave, it's courageous. It's not something you have to share with everyone or even anyone, perhaps just, your significant other or, a close friend, whoever it is for you, your colleague. But it's something that you can absolutely keep to yourself and it's safe too. But what resources are available through the redundancy? So, coming back to the topic of this episode of Create Your Career Easily, is looking at what's available from the redundancy. So, are there any packages? Are there any counselling sessions? Is there resume writing support? Support with your applications, with interviews? What's available through the organisation that you're working with? And exploring that and going, you know what, look, it is available. I'm going to go and check it out. I'm going to go to one session and see what it's like. If I jive with the counsellor, if it works out, if it's going to help me with my resume, by all means. Maybe it's even some financial coaching. Some organisations do offer that. Whatever it is, choose to opt into the ones that feel right for you and your circumstances. And so I encourage you to do that. If it's not available through, say, often smaller non-for-profits, they're, very much on a budget. And if there's organisational change, then, it may be quite different to someone in a more medium-sized organisation. But exploring what's available for you, go and do a Google search. Reach out and see what counselling's available. Perhaps you can get something through your local, I say clinic, but maybe there's something available there that you can access. Maybe you want to have private coaching, as in with a career coach. If that's something that you're looking at, then, for example, by all means, reach out or, go and choose a coach, a career coach that can help you navigate through this transition, that has perhaps been there themselves, and as in that's their result, as in they've experienced that and they can help you with it, and they've helped others. That has been mine through career change, not so much based on organisational redundancies, but I've certainly been in environments when that's been taking place and made use of what is available in terms of, they call it employee assistance program services here in Australia. Depending on where you are, it may be something else. But coming back to seeing what's available within the organisation and or what's in your local community. If there's something through your local, I say clinic, but medical clinic, maybe there is something. Go check it out and or get online, do a Google search and connect with a career counsellor, a career coach, someone to navigate and coach you through this transition so that you can then start to look at what's next for you. Is it the same kind of role that you're in, just with a different kind of organisation? Is it a more advanced role? Is it the next step that you're ready for? Perhaps it's more about the environment that you work in. Maybe you've come to realise, you know what, I work better when I'm in this kind of team environment, when there's more than two people, for example. It's a more of a team, there's same sorts of roles and there's 5 of us or however many. But, in a team, maybe you prefer to work more independently and project work. Maybe you want to be in an environment where you feel that there is more longevity, particularly if the organisation goes through a lot of organisational changes. Maybe you want more flexibility. Maybe you actually want to go part-time and reduce from 5 days to 3 days. Maybe you want to go remote. Like, I know that's a lot of questions to share with you and thinking points, but it's worth exploring. Like, what is it for you? What are your drivers? What's important to you? Why does this matter to you? How will it set you up and or facilitate growth in the next couple of years? So what is it for you? And exploring that. And if that's something that you need help with and want personalized support, then by all means reach out. You're welcome to join the Create Your Career Easily newsletter. But for immediate help in terms of redundancies, then looking to see what resources are at hand to you. and being brave, bold, courageous enough to go, you know what, I do need help. I'm going to ask the question. I am going to reach out. I'm just going to keep it in my close sphere, or, significant other, loved one, whoever it is, friend. Or I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to show up for the session, book in, and let it reveal itself from there. And when I say let it reveal itself from there, you have the conversation with a career counsellor, for example, start to unpack what it is that you want to do next. You look at starting to refresh your resume. Maybe you decide to take a break from it. Maybe you're in a position where you're considering, well, you know what, I'm going to have a bit of a career break. I'm going to take the next 2 months off, 3 months off, and I'm going to go on a holiday. I'm going to use this time to do that. So it's really about your own individual circumstances. And like I said, going back to this episode of Create Your Career Easily, is that it's about acknowledging your feelings. It's okay to have these feelings of, I say, hardship and emotions around, having been let go, frustration, upset, all of that, acknowledging that and, recognizing that, and then taking the time to explore what's available in terms of resources within your own organization that you're a part of. What can you access? Looking at accessing that, and or looking locally in your local community. There might be something available there, and or privately funded yourself through career coaching, and having some coaching that way to coach you through the transition so that you can land that new role, be in a role that's a more advanced role. Maybe it's a role with more income. Maybe from this redundancy, you've taken stock and you've reflected, and you're like, you know what I was being remunerated, there's actually options available where I can be remunerated more. And in this time and space of my career, that's actually what part of my main focus is. And so I'm going to do that. Or maybe you've been sitting on a base salary for a period of time. Let's be transparent. Maybe you had. And you're like, you know what? I'm ready for an income increase in terms of my salary, in terms of, responsibility as well. And or maybe there's roles, like I said, that can vary from organization to organization that pay at a different salary and different benefits. So what to do if you've been made redundant, taking the time to acknowledge your feelings, your emotions, and looking at it as when you're move through that, looking at it as an opportunity to go, you know what, this happened for a reason, for a season. There's something for me next. I don't necessarily know straight away right this moment what it is, but it is going to reveal itself to me. It is going to happen. I will find out, it will come to me, opportunities will come, and start to explore, say journaling as a tool, for example, or reaching out and having some counseling and conversations around shifting your mindset, because it's easy to, get in a bit of a bind around it, and or if you've been applying for multiple roles and you feel like you're on a spinning wheel. But taking that time to reflect on what it is for you next. What did you like about where you were? What you don't like about it, or what you didn't like about it? What are your negotiables and your non-negotiables? That's the reflection point. And then exploring those resources that are available to you immediately, and or other resources where you can have career coaching, where you can have personalized support to support you during the transition when it comes to a new job. Maybe it's a new career, a promotion with a different organization with a new job, and or it's having a holiday and break in between because you realize, you know what, I wasn't really having many holidays or breaks during that time. And so I'm in a position where I'm going to do that, can do it, and will do it. So that's a deep dive into this episode. There's lots of takeaways there, considerations, thinking points for you. And like I said, if you want to connect, then by all means do connect through the links, and or reach out to me. I'm more than happy to have a conversation and go from there. Thanks so much for being here, and know and trust that the next opportunity will present itself and you will find what you're looking for. It often comes wrapped up in a different way, and that's totally okay, and being open to that. That's all for now.